Varina got that win there. Varina's going to have to understand one thing about this squad right here in terms of Atlee bringing to the floor. They rebound well. They can run you. They can walk you up. They're a pain in the butt on defense because they're in your face, not flashy. They're very productive. Varina can hit you like a tidal wave at any moment. They got guys that can put it up. They got guys that can finish at the rim. They can do the mid-game, and they can shoot the three, and they will get in your face defensively also.
Both these teams play in the Capital District along with Armstrong, Hanover, Henrico, Highland Springs, Mechanicsville, and Patrick Henry, Ashland. And Justin, we had Varina in the football championship game back in December up at Liberty Stadium, Williams Stadium in Lynchburg. And it was Caleb Weich that was throwing passes to Damari Carter. Those are going to be two of the starters here in this game as well. And remember that Weich went out of that game with, 3 minutes or something like that left in the third quarter. It changed the complexion of the game for Varina, who was giving FEMAs all they wanted pretty much at that point. So we've got some ex-football players. We've got guys that undoubtedly play a lot of playground ball together during the year. Building on what Coach Young said, this Atlee team, I've watched them on tape a couple times. I saw them once in person. They can leap out of the gym. And you've got a very athletic team, obviously in Varina, having football players that are playing on the basketball team as well. You've got a great crowd. Best crowd really we've seen in terms of numbers so far in this tournament. This should be a lot of fun.
Oh, this is going to be a raucous environment here tonight. Nothing better than 8 o'clock on a Friday night. It's championship number 8 of 12. We've got 4 more games tomorrow, but tell you what, fellas, I am looking forward to this one tonight. Like you said, it's a battle of the 804. Matt Hatfield has alluded to it a couple times already today. Henrico and Hanover counties represented, and they were all converged right here at VCU in what should be a great nightcap here on night number 2.
Could come down to whoever has the ball last, and last basket wins.
It could be that way. We'll turn it over to the public address announcer for the sportsmanship pledge and the national anthem, and then we'll be back for the call of the game. The Class 4 boys here on the NFHS Network.
For boys state championship in the Varina Blue Devils against the Raiders of Atlee High School. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll please rise in our honor with the playing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll please focus your attention to the scorer's table, as we have a player from each team that will lead the sportsmanship creed. Please allow us to share this time with our modern and good sports community.
There you see the sportsmanship pledge with those two young athletes getting set for this one as they are set to compete with each other. And Coach, right before we get into this one, let's look at some of our keys to victory. And we'll start with the Atlee Raiders. We've got limit open court play and the crunch time execution.
That's going to be very important. Along with, you've got to stay on the boards with this team because Varina can get up. They can be explosive.
And then for the Varina Blue Devils, we'll talk about handle Hopkins and be unselfish.
Will Hopkins for Atlee, we'll be calling his name a lot, number 3, 6'2", senior guard going to UCN Pembroke. He's 20 points a game. He gets glass 2 at 4.5, gets the steals, gets the assists. He's the motor for this Atlee team.
And Mark, as you see the rosters start to be announced here, they're doing the non-starters and then the starters. So what we'll do is we're just going to jump right into the starters, and let's talk about the Atlee Raiders for Coach Raleigh Axel.
So the starters for the Raiders will be number 3, Will Hopkins, a 6'2" senior point guard. Number 11, Matthew Shields, a 5'11" senior guard. Number 22, Noah Yoder, a 6'5" senior center. Number 32, Connor Wilcox, another 6'5" player, a sophomore. And number 44, Knox Axel, the coach's son. He shows up in the roster as a shooting guard, but really, Ed, you've got 3 players there, 6'5". That's a pretty formidable front court to deal with.
They're really positionless because they move around well. They do a lot of screening their offense. They execute very well. They've got 3 guys in double figures. We said Hopkins. Connor Wilcox is 10 a game. Knox Axel is 12 points a game. They play their roles extremely well.
And before we get started here, let's go to the Varina Blue Devils for Coach Kenneth Randolph, Mark, and take a look at their 5 starters.
Well, the math is kind of easy for knuckleheads like me, Justin. It's number 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Number 0 is Caleb Strotter, a 6'6" junior forward. Number 1 is Zamari Cotter. He played wide receiver on the football team. He was first team All-Region 4B in hoops as well. He is 6'3". He is a junior. Number 2 is Brian Mitchell, a 6'4" sophomore guard. Number 3 is Dominic Pleasance, a 5'10" senior guard. And number 4 is Caleb White. He played football. He was the quarterback on the football team, as we mentioned a little bit ago. 5'10". He is a sophomore guard.
Again, we are just a few moments away from tip-off here in this one, in the nightcap ball game for us. Getting set for the Atlee Raiders and the Varina Blue Devils right here on the NFHS Network. It is the boys Class 4 state championship right here from VCU.
If you missed it earlier today, the 12:30 p.m. girls title in Class 1 went to George Wythe by the score 50-44. The boys, also George Wythe, a blowout of the Franklin Broncos 77-38. And the game that concluded just a few minutes ago, it was the Heritage Leesburg Pride defeating the Salem Spartans 46-37.
Another interesting note, gentlemen, number 22, Noah Yoder for Varina, Atlee, 6'5" senior, is heading to Duke to play baseball, and I hear he could be good enough to get drafted.
So a lot of athleticism on the court here, and we're about to get this one underway. Pair of 6'5" players tipping it, and the tip goes to Atlee. Axel hands it off to Shields. There's always that feeling out period, even for teams that know each other like these two do, over the first couple of possessions.
You're right, that feeling out process in the first minute and a half is key.
There's a 3 right off the bat in the corner from Axel, and it's 3-0 Atlee. White, quarterback the football team. He quarterbacks the offense for the basketball team as well.
Varina will be trying to get it to number 2, Brian Mitchell, the leading scorer.
Almost lost the handle. Here's another 3-point attempt. That one in and out by Mitchell. Battle for the rebound, and it'll come down to Yoder. He hands it to Shields. Bounce pass to Axel. Axel from way outside. Rebounded by Pleasance. He puts it up off the glass, no good. Putting it up and in is Strotter, and he'll go to the line for a potential old-fashioned three-point play.
Again, they attack the glass well. Strotter's a leading rebounder at 8 rebounds a game. He's also at 13 points. They will be active on the glass on every shot.
3-2 Atlee with the early lead. Strotter trying to tie it, and he does.
And I'm glad Varina decided to start 0 through 4 to help you out, Mark, in terms of getting those starters down. That was good of Varina.
For the numerically challenged like me, that's a good thing.
I like that one.
Back and forth up high. Shields thought about a three. Gave it up. Three-point attempt from the far corner, up and in by Wilcox.
The only underclassman in the starting lineup for Atlee. We start 4 seniors.
Shields to Wilcox. Gives it up to Axel. Axel gets it back, thought about a three. Now from the right elbow, puts it up and can't get the roll. Strotter gets the rebound. Blocked by Yoder. Well, we talked, Ed, about the athleticism. You saw some of it right there.
Yeah, both teams have it. They definitely have it.
Three-pointer from the left-hander. Hopkins, no good.
That's another name we'll be calling out a lot tonight. Will Hopkins, number 3 for Atlee.
I'm not going to fault Hopkins, but what I'm going to say is, and so many guys do it now, they shoot and they don't follow the shot. If he'd followed the shot, he would have had a rebound.
That never happened. You can forget that. You can forget that. I think the only way maybe if you pay kids to go get a rebound after they miss it. And I tell the kids they're the best ones to know when they miss a shot.
Long three-point attempt by Axel. He had one already, no good. Rebounded by Carter.
Little uncharacteristic for Atlee to shoot as quick as they are. They usually 2, 3, 4 pass offensive team.
Here's a three-point attempt that's nowhere close by White. Rebounded by Hopkins.
Good elevation there by Hopkins.
He's got a smooth release on that jump shot. That's 20 points a game for Will Hopkins.
That was ruled a two-pointer, not a three.
Actually, he's 22 points a game. I cheated him 2 points.
He won't like that, Coach.
No, I'll just blame it on you.
Good pass underneath and a good put up and in by Strotter. That's his second 2-point field goal of the game. It's 8-5 Raiders.
Varina's in a kind of a matchup 1-3-1 defense. Point guard applies pressure, second guard goes for the first pass.
Almost a 5-second call.
When they're at their best, this is what really Varina does well, is give you uncomfortableness on offense.
Here's another three-point attempt. It's good. Wilcox has his second tray.
He's a sophomore, but I'm telling you right now, he plays like a senior. That's a guarantee.
He has a good-looking stroke, Coach.
Yes,
that
he does.
was really good-looking form.
Plays with reckless abandon, which I like.
And the players have to be careful. The three-point line for the high schoolers is the white arc, not the black arc, like it is for college. Fourth shot put up by White, no good. Rebounded by Hopkins. He comes in, puts it up. No, but he's fouled.
And to your point, most three-pointers tonight will be behind the black, as it's been all tournament long. It's the quickest line to see, and when the kids step on the black line, they're going to think, oh, I'm on the three-point line, I got to get off. They don't realize, no, the black line means nothing to you, but they'll shoot from back there.
Will Hopkins is on the line.
So the 6'2 senior point guard, Will Hopkins, goes to the line, shoots left-handed. Good rotation on that first shot, and it is good.
He's a 68% free throw shooter. Excuse me, 72%. He's decent. He's decent from the foul.
Second one good as well.
Once again, I don't jinx foul shooters like our guru of statistics here, Matt Hadfield does.
Suddenly, it's 13-5 Atlee, and it's been three-point shooting that has been the difference so far. There was an attempt by Strotter, no good. Rebounded by Hopkins. He kicks it out. Axel drops in his second tray. And it's 16-5. And timeout will be called by Kenneth Randolph. And the light blue fans are standing here in the Siegel Center. A barrage of three-pointers.
Well, obviously, in that 1-3-1 matchup type that Varina's running, if you got to get out on shooters, they're letting Atlee get an open look. I know they missed a few earlier, but they're getting the open looks. Now they're going to start getting comfortable. Either you change up or you have to just explain to the kids, get out on shooters. You've already marked them down in scouting reports of who's really going to put the ball up. The thing with Atlee is pretty much all five guys can shoot it. So the idea is when the ball is passed, especially after that first pass, get out on the shooter or we're going to be just taking it out of bounds all the time.
So if you're Varina, I don't think you can play a real effective 2-3 against this team because Atlee will just rain down threes over top of it.
Right, a 2-3 is designed to, you got more power on your baseline inside for a team that really posts up well, does a lot of high-low action. Atlee right now is more move the basketball, reverse it, jump shot.
Jaden Harrell into the game, number 11. Pass goes down low, turnaround, spin move, up and in. Mari Cotter with the two-pointer, and it's 16-7.
And just what they going man-to-man.
I kind of thought that would be the case.
Yeah, they got out of the zone in that timeout. Now we're going to go out on people. Now, I'm going to tell you now, Atlee executes well against man-to-man.
That rebound comes to Carter. He's got 3 boards. Nice pass down low, no good. Follow-up, no good, but a foul called.
And another key factor, out of man-to-man, you run better. One of Varina's biggest things is running. They score a majority of their points in the transition game. And one of the keys we said, Atlee has to stop that run game or Varina gets points in bunches.
You get the sense it's going to have to be the Atlee half-court game and shooting the 3-ball versus the transition game that would favor Varina. And whichever team dictates the tempo has the upper hand.
They'll have the upper hand. If they get that man-to-man, then Atlee has to go from one-pass shooting to more 2, 3, 4 passes execution.
That one is no good. And it's 16-8. Atlee having doubled up Varina here in the early going. Largely on the strength of 4 3-pointers by the Raiders. Hopkins driving, rejected.
Slaughter on that block.
Slaughter with the block, into the lane, up and in. Dominic Pleasance with the 2-pointer, and it's 16-10.
Little weave action out front for Atlee. You see a lot of teams run this, especially 3-point shooting teams.
And they're not getting the open looks that zone early was giving them. In fact, right there was an open look for Matthew Martin. He decided not to pull the trigger.
Man-to-man makes you think a little bit more.
Good man-to-man defense here by Varina.
Good job. They set on his left. They're forcing Will Hopkins to go right. He's deadly with that left hand.
Here's a turnover by Atlee. Varina in transition all the way to the rack, and good is Carter. And it's 16-12. And you can see, Coach, the change in the defensive scheme is giving a little bit of a problem to the Raiders.
You don't have as much time to execute in a man-to-man because you got somebody right in your face. You got to worry about the 5-second call.
There's another turnover by Atlee. Here comes Varina. Up and in by Strotter.
Timeout, Atlee. Saw that coming.
Timeout called by Coach Axel of the Raiders, and it's 16-14 Atlee.
Saw that.
That'll take us to the end of the first quarter of play. A very active first quarter. It is Atlee 16, Varina 14 as we go to the second on the NFHS. A very fast-paced first quarter in this Class 4 Boys Championship game. The Atlee Raiders got out to a 16-5 lead, and Varina has whittled it now to 16-14. Mari Calder will inbound it right in front of us. Gives it to Dominic Pleasance. Ryan Mitchell.
Atlee in a zone.
Rebound comes to Matthew Martin. Pass down low on the baseline, blocked by Carter. Pass into the lane, another turnover by Atlee. And after the great start by the Raiders, they have gone cold in this game. Too strong on the three, rebounded by Hopkins. Hopkins will try to go coast to coast, puts it up, no, but he's fouled.
Now, obviously, the reason for that, as you said earlier, Mark, Varina opens up in the zone. Atlee gets a few open looks, they knock him down. Timeout by Varina. We go man-to-man. We take away that extra second to look for that shot, and we move those three-point shooters off the line.
The thing that jumps out to me, Coach, is how Atlee's able to get into the passing lanes right now. They're using their length to get tips and slow this attack down.
And you know what? They're more active in their man-to-man than they are in that zone. A lot of times when you force an active man-to-man team to play zone, they're not quite as active. And even though as a coach you're thinking, look, this is how we can beat this team. And then sometimes the kids dictate, nah, Coach, we're better in our man.
Caleb Strotter, the leading scorer, with 7 in the first quarter. 2 players with 2 threes apiece. Wilcox and Axel leading the way for Atlee, 6 apiece.
Varina 12-0 points in the paint, 4 points to 0 off turnovers. That's really the only difference in the first quarter. It's fairly even shooting-wise. Everywhere else, it's pretty much. Now, Varina's 0 for 4 from 3. Atlee was 4 of 7.
Offensive rebounds. Varina with 3, Atlee with none. 3-point attempt put up, no good by Shields. Back comes Varina, trailing by 4. Hopkins, rather. And he's going to be called for traveling.
Little shuffle step. Very little, but the referee saw it. He picked that up, moved his right foot, and then all of a sudden here comes the left foot sliding just enough. That's what I call Hawkeyes by the official. But they're supposed to have them.
So Whites will slow walk it across the timeline. 6:15 remaining. Strotter kicks it outside. 3-pointer by Roman Dennis, number 20, into the game for Varina. No good. Blocked inside by Atlee. Back come the Raiders. They will slow it down. I don't think Atlee, Coach, wants to get into a track meet with Varina.
No, I mean, they're an opportunistic type running team. They're not just get it and go. Varina's a little bit more get it and go. They play really well off their athleticism.
Wilcox has his drive cut off. Good interior defense being played by Varina. And this switch to man has paid dividends. For the Blue Devils, a long straightaway 3 put up by Shields, no good.
I don't like that there, Coach. It's almost like they settled for that one.
Yeah, they're going to have to work a little bit more.
And White's with the travel. He did
Happy
the
feet.
shuffle step too.
Got a few fellows with some happy feet here tonight.
But Coach, you alluded to it a couple possessions ago. Varina is not letting Wilcox go left. I mean, they are giving up the right.
Yeah, that you got to make sure. Again, close out on the ball on shooters all the time. And anybody has the ball, give them pressure, make them think. 5-second count can come up.
Hopkins drops in a two-pointer. It's 21-14.
See, what's crazy about Atlee is Hopkins is better against man-to-man than he was zone, but the rest of the guys are better against his zone. So Hopkins really feeds off a man-to-man. He's got great moves.
You can tell he loves the transition game.
Tell you what, UNC Pembroke, if I'm not mistaken, that's where he committed to. They got a steal. That's Division II school, North Carolina. I saw them play this year. They got a steal.
Dennis starts to drive, cut off. Sends it to Harville. His two-pointer, high rebound, going up to get it is Wilcox. 2014, Atlee by 6. Long three-point attempt off the front of the rim, no good. Kicks out to Atlee. Hopkins thought he had that three. Rebounded by Dennis, Roman Dennis. A 6'1" freshman. There's a three by Strotter.
That was Caleb Weiss.
Sorry.
Number 4, Caleb Weiss on that three.
I was wondering when Weiss was going to pull the trigger. He's had a couple looks, and he's dished it off. That's the first time he stepped into one.
Sophomore guard has been sneaky big in some of their wins. You worry about all the other guys that have the notoriety, and all of a sudden Weiss bangs a three.
Wilcox has his drive cut off. Matthew Martin into the game, number 10 now for Atlee. Hopkins, and we're going to have a reach-in foul called on White.
I'll tell you what, guys, I love the defense and how aggressive this Varina Blue Devil team is. I mean, they're very sound defensively. They don't get out of position right there. As you said, that one could have been left alone and not called, but they're very aggressive and they stay within themselves.
Well, the problem on that one, it looked like his free hand got the ball, but his other hand had wraps on the hip. They always call that holding, but it's hard to get away with it.
Shields being guarded by Pleasance. Yoder drops it back to Reed Taylor, number 1. Rebounded down low by Atlee. Shot in the paint, no good, but Yoder will go to the free throw line.
On Brian Mitchell.
That's 2 on Mitchell.
We have not called Brian's name out much, and he is their leading scorer. He was 0 for 2 in the first quarter, including missed 3, 1 rebound. He's a slow starter in this game.
(2017). The Raiders leading, 2:50 remaining before halftime. That one no good. Rebounded, though, by Axel. Offensive rebounds so huge in a game like this. Well, really any game, Coach, but in a game with two teams that know each other well, you get the offensive rebounds on those long shots that miss. That can pay real dividends, giving you another look at the basket.
That was a tough move by Knox Axel. He jimmied to the left, jammy over to the right, drew the block off the glass. That was nice.
And it's going to count. So a conventional three-point play attempt for Knox Axel. 6'6" senior.
And the key, too, in this game, you're not going to get a whole lot of opportunities. So you've got to make the most of it when you rebounds possessions.
And that free throw is good. He goes back to 6, 23-17. Now we see Atlee in a 2-3.
Like a matchup 2-3, they'll pass players off. I'm watching. If the defender doesn't go all the way with them, they're more in a zone. But if they move as such as they are, it's more of a matchup, meaning somebody should always be on the ball.
muscled up and in by Mitchell.
Yeah, he's good. Brian Mitchell needs to come alive a little bit more for Varina to get back in terms of getting this lead. He's their go-to man.
23-19. A little bit of an acting job by Shields. The officials didn't buy it. Can't fault him for trying, though.
There'll be no Academy Awards in this game. You're going to have to earn it.
Turnaround shot that bounces everywhere but in by Axel, but the follow-up is good. The lead back to 6, 25-19, 80 seconds remaining.
Notice how the Axel on defense, everybody's talking. When somebody rotates for Varina, they're telling who to go out on them.
Drive to the hoop by Pleasance. Too strong. Ryan Miller gets the rebound. Under a minute to go. Pass goes off of Varina. It will stay on the right side of the court. Hopkins took a little bit of a breather. He will go back into the game. Going out is Ryan Miller.
Atlee trying to win their first state championship ever. Varina has 3 to their credit.
One of those was Class 5.
Yes,
back in 2018.
Hopkins.
Now the lead is 8, 27-19. We'll see if Varina is going to hold for the final shot or whether they're going to try to move the ball around, find an open player. Strada goes into the lane, fouled. Reed Taylor will get tagged with the foul. 19.7 seconds remaining.
That's the first foul on Atlee this quarter. 5 total fouls in the quarter, 4 against Varina, 1 against Atlee.
Very well disciplined on defense. They only had 2 fouls in the first quarter, and you're also playing an active team that will come at you, which, you know, a lot of times you're going to foul those kind of teams because it's going to be a lot of bumping there.
That one goes high and bounces in. If we were playing golf, Ed, that would be the member bounce.
Yeah, that would be a nice one. Me playing golf, cover your head.
Drive to the lane, blocked out of bounds. Atlee will have 2.6 seconds left. They lead by 6, 27-21.
2 seconds to go here. Look for a roll off. Screen inside, look for a roll off to the basket.
Instead, Hopkins goes high, shoots no good, and unable to tap it in was Yoder. And we will go to the break with the score. Atlee 27, Varina 21 in the boys Class 4 championship game here in Virginia on the NFHS network.
This year, James River Equipment has brought $13,000 in scholarships to students across the state. Their commitment to fostering success in the next generation is greatly appreciated. To find out more about these scholarships and internship opportunities, visit their table on site today. At this time, we are happy to welcome our contestants. First from Atlee High School, Ron Mayer. From Varina High School, Johnny Washington. Contestants will have 30 seconds to make as many free throws as possible. Students will receive the James River Equipment swag bag for participating and the gift card for winning. All right, students. 1, 2, 3, go. We appreciate everyone's attention and would like to remind you to visit the James River Equipment table today and learn more about their impact across the state. James River Equipment, your local John Deere dealer.
We are back at the boys Class 4 championship game here at the Siegel Center in Richmond, Virginia. The halftime score, Atlee 27, Varina 21. The leading scorer for the Blue Devils is Caleb Strotter 3 2-point field goals, 3 for 3 at the line for his 9 points. And for Atlee, it is Will Hopkins with 3 2-point field goals, a perfect 4 for 4 at the line for his 10 points. But really it boiled down to those early 3-pointers when Varina for some reason was staying in zone, and Connor Wilcox got a couple, Knox Axel got a couple. That built up kind of a buffer, and really Atlee's been able to maintain that pretty much throughout. Varina's made their runs, but Atlee's been able to respond.
You know, excellent point. They only have 4 threes, but those 4 threes were extremely keys. It's 12 points. Our difference is only 6. So right there, you look at it, and then we flip the ball to the other side of the court. Second quarter, Varina shot 22% from the floor. 3-point shot is not to their liking. They're 1 for 9. They're going to have to do a better job of trying to get in, but those Atlee boys inside have got trees in there. They're 6'5", 6'6". You don't realize it until you get up close, as we are, to say, whoa, those kids are a lot bigger than we thought. And they're causing Varina to think twice about coming in. But Varina has got to go on the attack. It's not a blowout by any imagination. It's a 2-possession game for the most part. Actually, we'd say 3 because 2 possession means they got to hit 2 threes, and they only hit 1 so far. So let's say 3 possession games for 2s, which Veronica. Brian Mitchell only has 2 points. It's a kid that's averaging 18 points a game. If he gets cooking, they'll be able to do some stuff.
Points in the paint favoring Varina 14-4. Clearly they are making hay when they go into transition. They're finding openings underneath. If this game gets into a track meet, Atlee's going to be in trouble.
And that goes to show 14 of their 21 points. The other 5 is from the foul line. So get inside, Varina. That's where you're getting your points. Easier said than done.
Wilcox hands it to Shields to get started. That's going to be off the foot of Dominic Pleasance. Atlee will maintain possession.
I was surprised that wasn't a kickball. Dead ball
well,
there.
It was.
It
I mean,
close.
He threw the ball off the foot. They'll still call it a kick ball, but the referee over here in front of us was a little bit blindsided by it.
You've never accused officials of that in your lifetime. You're going to start now.
No, officials are great. We can't have a game without officials. I love them.
They really do a great job. They're underappreciated. The only reason you remember them is when they make a mistake.
Yeah,
but this game could not be played without them. In and out on the long 3 attempt by Hopkins.
Will Hopkins, a nice first half. He had 10 points.
Carter with the rebound, hands it back to Pleasance.
Another high score. That's 22 a game for him, so he's almost halfway there. Atlee still in that sagging type zone. Oh, they didn't sag it up right there.
Strotter with his 4th 2-pointer.
Hey, maybe Varina listened to us, Mark. They went inside, couple passes, went inside to Slaughter, 6'5", stay those points in the paint.
And that was a great job, great look for that last pass to get Slaughter to the hoop.
Yes.
Well, let me clarify, Coach. They should listen to you. 500 wins. I've got 0. They should listen to you.
Well, we could just simply say this. All 3 of us sitting here together, 520 wins. Unless Justin's hiding some things he ain't telling me.
I'll take it. There's a nice running scoop shot by Wilcox. That's his first 2-pointer. Three-pointer off the front of the rim, bouncing around. It goes to Hopkins. Hopkins loves the transition game, puts it up. A little too strong, though. Rebounded by Strotter, and it's going to be a foul.
Yeah, Nope, they didn't call that on. I thought that was on Hopkins. That was on Yoder, number 22. Noah Yoder on the foul. Hopkins a little out of control, got his steps mixed up. Mentioned earlier about Yoder, 6'5". They understand he can throw a fastball pretty well. He's going to be in the draft. Coach Raleigh Axel said that he has a chance of getting drafted coming up in the Major League Draft in June. Baseball.
It's Yoder, Y-O-D-E-R, not Yoda, the trainer of the Jedi. Trying to muscle it up was Mitchell. Not successful, rebounded by Atlee.
That's tough to get in there. I said get in there, but I'll tell you what, it's tough to get in into the trees of Atlee.
There are some sequoias for Atlee when you go that deep into the paint. Mari Carter with that rebound.
Yes, Yoder on the miss on that.
And traveling on Dominic Pleasance, and he knew it.
Actually got his hand caught under the ball, turned the ball over on the dribble. That's called, you can't do that. They call it a carry. A lot of people will say it's just a travel call, but if you can't put your hand under the ball and then dribble it, the hand must stay on top of the ball. But it's a rule that's violated tremendously. They don't call it enough.
Nice pass, good patience down low, but Yoder misses the bunny. 29-23.
A little bit too muscle.
Three-point attempt put up and in by Dominic Pleasance. Just the second three of the game for Varina. Hopkins gets his fourth two-pointer on the nice drive into the paint.
Well, you watch that drive. He bangs some people out of the way legally, not illegally, because he's so strong with the basketball.
Carter, back to Weitz, back to Carter. Carter drives, off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Yoder. Long pass ahead to Axel. Thought about a three. Puts up a contested two and makes it. That's his second two-pointer of the game. His fourth field goal. And it's 33-26. That will be called, I think it's going to be on Hopkins. Let's see. Nope, it's not. It's Yoder.
Third foul on Yoder.
I like the hard take there by Mitchell. Did a good job trying to make something happen offensively.
Both these teams do not go real deep in their bench. Atlee's about 8 players, and Varina's about 7. And we'll see one of those subs coming in right now for Atlee, number 10, Matthew Martin. Played 6 minutes in the first half.
Almost at the midpoint, and it's still a 6-point margin, which is what we started this half with.
Rebound comes down to Yoder. Hopkins recovers. Jacks up the shot, no good. Rebounded by Mitchell. Kick out into the corner. Drive in the lane by Pleasance, no good. Rebounded by Shields. Goes to Axel. Axel loses the handle. Turnover Raiders. We're going to have a foul called in the backcourt.
One thing Atlee's doing a great job of, they're limiting Varina to one shot. First half, they had 13 defensive rebounds. Varina only had 4 offensive rebounds, so they're really limited to one shot, and then they're going with the basketball.
I get the sense sitting here, Ed, that this game should be closer the way Varina is playing, and yet you look up at the scoreboard, and Atlee continues to have that 6-point buffer pretty much throughout the game.
Keeping them arm's length away. You would think the way it looks, and maybe 2, maybe 3 at the most, but it is 6.
Knocked away, good defensive hands. Here comes Hopkins. Up, in, and he's fouled by Mitchell.
Strong take by Hopkins. Mitchell trying everything he could do, but Hopkins was ready for that one. The hoop and the harm.
14 for Hopkins, a chance to make it 15, and the lead is now 8.
That was tough. That was tough with him. Yeah, I could see in Mitchell's eyes he wanted to try to block it. In my head, I'm saying as a coach, get off of him, because it's too easy for the referee. When you're up in the air, you're out of control. The minute you touch it, it's almost always going to be called a foul. Let that one go.
15, as Hopkins is a perfect 5 for 5 from the line. Good ball rotation, but Atlee recovering. A long three-point attempt is no good. Battle for the rebound down low. The putback, no good, but a foul will be called on the Raiders. That is the second on Knox Axel.
Yes.
A-X-S-E-L-L-E, the spelling of the last name.
Father Raleigh is the head coach calling the signals.
Mitchell gets the bounce on the free throw.
We had Raleigh Axel, Matt and I did on our podcast show, and I asked him, what's it like coaching your son? Sometimes, dads can get overbearing. He said, nope, my wife takes care of that. I ain't allowed to say nothing about basketball to him at the house unless he brings it up. I said, that's smart. If you listen to the wife, you live longer.
Absolutely. Happy wife, happy life. It's a happy life right now for Atlee. They lead 36-29. Fans thought that should have been a carry by Hopkins.
That was a strange move.
Hopkins, shot off the right, no good. Tapped, though, nicely by Axel to keep it alive, and here's a foul on Varina. You know what's impressed me, Ed? Not on the court, but off the court. There's a very, very large Atlee student section. They haven't sat down hardly at all this game.
No, they have completely filled all the end zone seats. First time this weekend that we've seen that of the Atlee, all of it. And Varina has the other end zone, but they're sitting right now.
Kudos to the student.
Cause some problems here. Come on.
Right. Kudos to the student section of Atlee.
Right. The student section is good. I don't mean Varina cause problem. I mean make some noise. Get some energy transformed into your guys. Not that they've not shown it, but they need something to get over this hump of 7-point lead.
Atlee does not have a state championship in basketball. They have not played in a championship game. Varina won it in 22 and 23, defeating Loudoun County and EC Glass, respectively. Long three-pointer by Axel. That's his third tray of the game. Now the lead is up to 10, 39-29. 2:04 remaining in the first, and there's a held ball. He'll stay on the right side of the court. Strabo will come back in. Jaden Walker came in briefly for him.
Give Caleb a little breather. Jaden Walker, 24, if I'm not mistaken, defensive end on the football team.
There's a lot of football players that played for Varina that are playing hoops as well. Mitchell trying to muscle it up. Can't connect, but he'll try it from the foul line.
Just picked up his third.
That's his third.
He'll set the rest of this quarter. His dad taking him off. Getting a little over rambunctious defensively.
Mitchell's first is good. By my count, he's 4 for 5 at the stripe. Rolls around and does not fall. Hopkins with the rebound. He loses the handle. Turnover by the Raiders. Back comes Varina. Three-point shot. Up, no good, but a good putback by Jaden Harville.
Jaden Harville. Put back by Jaden Harville off the three off of Slaughter. It was right there. Quick timeout by Varina.
And we'll keep it right here. 1:41 remaining, 39-32. And I said it earlier, Coach, I'll say it again. The way this game is going, you think Varina is going to be closer than what they are. But it's that same 6-7 point difference that has been in effect really since those three-pointers early on in the game.
The keys right now is Atlee is limiting Varina basically to one shot. 3-point shots really are not falling. They did hit one so far in this third quarter, but overall they're not. 3-point shot is still working for Atlee. When Varina backs off on that defense, they've got to continue that ball pressure and really try to limit Atlee to that one shot so they'll get more possessions. More possessions mean you get more shots.
And I've got to think that Atlee has it in their arsenal to do more ball screens, maybe to get some of those three-point shooters open.
A good point. I've seen them, and when I've seen them play this year, I've seen more screening. I actually seen them score their lowest point total of the year, 53, and still a win.
What a block by Brian Mitchell on the shot from Hopkins.
They beat Bethel High School in a game I saw, 53-33 down in our neck of the woods in a 7-5-7. And they executed with screen action all game long.
I haven't seen as much of it as I thought they might do now that Varina has switched to the man-to-man. Now they're back in zone.
Well, that's because the ball inbounded underneath. They went zone under. A lot of teams do that. They'll zone it. You don't get caught up in confusion on the inbounds play. 65 seconds left. Here's a long three-point attempt. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Mitchell. Spin move in the paint. Lays it up, no good. Rebounded by Matthew Martin.
That was a great take by Mitchell. Just didn't get it high enough.
Yeah, he just can't get untracked.
Those are the type of shots you've got to hit if you want to mount a comeback.
It was short. Of course, it was off the spin. But again, the length of this court affects these kids.
Hopkins with his sixth two-point field goal of the night. 41-32. Varina has to be careful here. You don't want to go double digits down to Atlee going into the final minute. They're going into the final period of play, rather, in this last minute of the third. There's a reverse put up by Strotter. He's fouled.
Nope,
he stepped on the line.
They called a hook on him or step on the line? Nope, I thought they called a hook. It looked like he had put the defender behind him on a hand, but they said no, he stepped on the line. I'd rather the step on the line than the foul. He doesn't really have, has no fouls, but still.
So Atlee with 12 seconds left. They get a field goal here. It's a double-digit lead.
Look for Hopkins off the screen.
Here's a two-point shot put up. Short, no good. The follow-up go is good by Wilcox at the buzzer. And the officials are going to wait and talk it over. The scoreboard hasn't registered it yet.
Yeah, it was good.
Now they do. We'll go to the fourth quarter. Atlee leading Varina now, 43-32 in the Class 4 Boys VHSL Championship game from the Siegel Center in Richmond, Virginia. On the NFHS Boys Class 4 Championship game in Virginia, about to get underway from the Siegel Center in Richmond, Virginia. Justin Wallen, Mark Fout, and the coach, Ed Young, with you for what should be an exciting finish for this particular game. Atlee gets the two-point basket right before time expired to go up by 11, 43-32. There's an attempt at the ball screen. Three-point attempt up and good. Wilcox has his third and added to that two-pointer right before the end. It's now a 14-point lead, 46-32. Kicked out of bounds. It'll stay with Varina. So you put together, Ed, that three-pointer and that two-pointer right at the buzzer. Those 5 points are huge right now. It's a 14-point lead.
Because now we're in the fourth quarter. We can't say you still got a whole lot of time left. You got 7 minutes, 27 seconds. And you're not going to possess the ball the entire time. So you're going to have to do something to get yourself more possessions.
And a great effort made by a pair of Blue Devils to try to get to that ball. They could not. Hopkins now with 17 points in the game. He's the highest scorer through 3. Caleb Strotter, the high scorer through 2. Here's another 3. Rained down that one by Reed Taylor. And the long-range bombers are continuing to hit for Atlee. There's the 5th two-pointer of the game for Caleb Strotter.
Yeah, guys, eerily reminiscent of the first quarter. Atlee comes out, hits a couple big threes to start that quarter. Here they are in the fourth quarter doing the same thing.
Yeah, Varina is not getting out on them as quick as they did when they switched from the zone to the man earlier.
Varina just 2 of 13 on three-pointers. Atlee 5 of 13 through 3. They've added one here, so they've got 6 trays now.
And those 3 have made a huge difference in this game.
That one rolls off the rim, no good. Mitchell skies for the rebound. White beats the trees. He goes up, can't get it. Put back by Carter. That's not good, but Carter will get 2 from the charity stripe. Reed Taylor's second. In and out by Carter.
Varina has been 8 for 11 from the free throw line today, and Atlee 6 of 8.
Well, there's still plenty of time left, but it's a 15-point Atlee lead right now. If you're Varina, you've got to start making every shot you can, and there's another miss.
Yeah, you can't exchange baskets. You're going to have to get stops and baskets to get close.
Here's Hopkins, a beautiful pass to Matthew Martin. He's got his first field goal. It's 51-34. Now the lead is 17.
Slowly but surely, Atlee stretching it out, putting the running game into action, which we said earlier was Varina's bread and butter, but Atlee's showing it better now.
Driving to the basket was Pleasance. He was fouled. That's the 4th on Axel. Pleasance will go to the line, by my count, for the first time in this game.
This is where you really make up deficits. Free throw line, clock stop, you're getting 2 shots. You knock them down, this helps. Every little bit helps.
Varina misses. Rebounded, though, by Straughter. Battle for the rebound underneath. Varina has it. Shot put up. Rolls around the rim. No good. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Blue Devils.
Cannot get anything in close to fall here in the last few minutes of this one.
And I'm starting to feel the frustration on Varina's part. And sometimes that leads to those easily, I'm not saying easy shots, but the close-in shots you think you can make.
Shot down low by Straughter. That's his 6th field goal of the game. He's got 15, and timeout will be called by Kenneth Randolph, the coach of the Blue Devils.
That was timeout, Atlee. Little trouble getting the ball inbound.
Yes, it was Atlee. I stand corrected, or I sit corrected. 51-36. 5:23 remaining. So, Coach, you've been in this situation before. You don't like to be if you're Varina, but you're down by 15 points. How do you crawl back into this game?
You've got to, on the inbounds, you've got to do a heck of a job to don't let the point guard, Will Hopkins, get it. You got to let somebody else handle it, and then pressure that guy like crazy. You've got no fouls, so you technically can play crazy for 4 fouls because it's just inbound stuff. You've got to cover shooters. You've got to put a. Will Hopkins is actually taking over the game for Atlee.
He's the
his
catalyst.
Drives, his shots, his rebounding. He's really shown what he is worth. You've just got to keep digging. If you're Varina, there's no magic to it. Your possessions are limited now. In 5 minutes, you're not going to have the ball all the time, but you got to get it as much as possible.
Atlee runs the baseline, gets it in to Shields. He almost had a 5-second. It's back to Shields. And
there's the 10.
It's a 10-second call.
10.
That's the way Varina can maybe get back into it.
Excellent job. They had covered Hopkins. He wasn't near the ball. Then they had a little bit of trouble coming up, and you saw Hopkins coming up back, and they double-teamed Hopkins when he didn't even have the ball because they knew they were trying to go to him. 10-second call. You have 9 seconds to get the ball over half court. On the 10th second, it goes back to the other team.
Varina trailing by 15, 51-36. Goes inside, a really nice spin move by Mitchell, but it doesn't fall. The follow-up does go, though. It's 51-38. Under 5 to go. This is Hopkins. Kicks it out. The three-point attempt is good! Connor's got his 4th. Atlee takes it away with good defense. And all the way to the rack of Shields. All of a sudden, it's 56-38. The lead is now 18.
And Atlee's energy level has not changed this whole game. Even though they're up almost 20, they're still playing like they did when it was a 2-3 point ball game.
Shot partially blocked. It comes back. The long three-pointer by Mitchell. No good. And we're going to have a foul. Reed Taylor down on the court. Cops back up.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, a reminder to everybody, this is the last game. All spectators need to remain in the section or head to the exit. Only players and coaches are allowed on the court.
Under 4 remaining. 3:59 to be exact. 56-38. Axel will inbound. Varina showing man-to-man pressure on the inbound. Shields is the player that Axel wants to get it to. He's doubled. He manages to get it in. Shields dribbling. 11 on 11. Shields and Harwell. Shields loses it. Varina, a three-point attempt, too strong. Battle for the rebound, it goes out. It's off of Varina's Broader. Braylon Hood, who came in briefly, will go out. Ryan Mitchell will come back in. Axel inbounds it to Hopkins. He's a great dribbler and penetrator. Goes into the lane, kicks it out to Shields. And Atlee may try to take a little bit of air out of the ball, but traveling is going to be the call.
Got a little excited with the basketball that time. I thought it'd be a situation where you want to work a little bit more clock because Varina's in desperation mode right now. They have to get the basketball.
Pleasance doesn't seem to have that sense of urgency. They're trying to work it inside to Carter, being guarded by Axel.
Yeah, they're
spin move from the left elbow.
They're trying to get in that lane, but it is also taking time.
Pleasance gets it up and in. He's got 2 two-pointers now. Under 3 to play. 56-40. And it's another 10-second violation for no, it's going to be a timeout called right before. That was close to being a 10-second violation, but Raleigh Axel called timeout just in the nick of time. 2:44 left, and I think, Coach, we might see Atlee take a little bit of air out of the ball. If they get an open look, they're going to take it, I still think. But you can maybe work 20, 25 seconds off the clock, start to work it down, put Varina in that much more of a desperation mode. Right.
Now, I'm not saying hold the ball. You execute a little extra pass because Varina's desperation for the ball. You probably can get them on a reversal, on an inside, a duck in. You could probably get them on that because they're so in tune should be so in tune to try to get the basketball. They may make defensive mistakes, and you can end up with a layup.
be inbounded right in front of yours truly by Matthew Shields. Puts it into Axel. Axel back to Shields. Guarded closely by Mitchell. Put up and in by Martin. Good patience by the 6'3 senior.
Beautiful play.
Long three-pointer, no good. Rebound, and here's an open Wilcox. Jim! Time for Atlee. 60-40.
They can feel it now.
That's a 20-point lead with 2 minutes. That could have been the icing on the cake. It ain't over till it's over, but that one sure put a nail in there.
Rebounded by Wilcox.
Right to the hole.
Nice block. That one rolls around and out. Varina can't buy a basket right now, although they get one there. 1:40 remaining, a 20-point lead for the Raiders.
That's been the story of the night. Outside of what Atlee did early on in the first quarter and the fourth quarter, just the inability for Varina to make those shots inside of 5 and 6 feet has really been an Achilles heel tonight.
Atlee's runouts have produced points. Varina's runouts, they're running into other Atlee guys on the defense in there. They haven't got the easy points, which they're accustomed to doing.
Free throw's good, 60-43. Varina's going to have nightmares of the ball rolling around the rim. There's a reach-in foul. Varina has some fouls to give.
They got 2 more fouls to waste, and they're going to have to. You try to go for a steal, you try to go for the stop, but you can't let them go out and run their offense. You just can't. You're going to have to foul.
Hopkins almost lost it. Split 2 defenders. And it's going to be a timeout called here by Axel.
I don't think they were looking and worry about losing the ball. I think they still would have had it. I'll tell you right, the ball in Will Hopkins' hands makes me feel comfortable. He's not going to lose it unless it's a crazy double team and he's surprised by it. He handles the ball well. He's strong with the dribble, so guys bounce off of him. And then when you move at the right time, bingo, he hits you with that pass.
He's got great dribbling skills when he's in speed mode. He can really accelerate and dribble it.
I'm sorry, I may not be an expert at this, but he's got Division I ability at the point guard spot, and he's going to go to UNC Pembroke, a great school who's in the NCAA 2A tournament, but they got themselves a steal with that youngster.
He has put on a show handling the ball. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 2-point field goals for him and 5 for 5 from the line.
What, he got 17 points for him? Going into the quarter, he had 17 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists. So
I've got 19 at this point.
And again, he's a 22-point scorer.
So just about there in terms of his average. Varina pulls the defense out deep. And Varina is going to take air out of the ball. Varina does have fouls to give. They're going to have to give one here sooner or later. They had Reed Taylor wide open underneath. Decided to pull it back out, and there's one of the fouls to give. That'll be on Weich, his 3rd by my count. And the official scorer agrees. 65 seconds remaining, a 17-point lead. Not impossible, but highly improbable for Varina.
Yeah, you got to be realistic. I'm not downing Varina. They deserve to be here. They're a team I would never want to play. They are dangerous. But Atlee today had just looks like they have a little bit more to them. That early start on those threes in the middle of the 3rd quarter really sealed it for them, I think.
I couldn't agree more, Coach. It's those 3-pointers that are bunched together on two separate occasions that are really the difference in this game. As we mentioned earlier, Atlee has never won a basketball state championship. They're 58.3 seconds away.
They're about to celebrate tonight.
Ten seniors, 3 juniors, 1 sophomore. So this is a very veteran team that Atlee has brought to this championship game.
25-1. The only loss was at a buzzer beater to Heritage of Leesburg. This could be what they've been working for a while.
You've got to think with that many seniors, Ed, during the offseason, these guys had one mission. One. Win the state championship
They've
game.
been playing together, AU in that sense, 5th grade. So they know each other, probably like brothers, fight when you're not looking at it. But when they come on the court, it's a bond. And you could tell they just, nobody gives 8%. Everybody's 100%.
Shields makes the free throw. It's an 18-point lead. Now 19 on the second made free throw. Pleasance off the front of the rim, no good. The story of the game really capsulized in that particular sequence. And here's Varina fouling. 38.6 remaining, a 19-point Raiders lead. And apparently one of the student body favorites, Michael Farley, number 21, is at the scorer's table, ready to come in.
Keyshawn Anderson.
Harville will shoot first. Gets the bounce.
He'll be coming in for shooter Matthew Shields, senior. Give him a hand on the way out.
There's the horn for the substitution. Shields will be serenaded off the court with a standing ovation. And the Atlee players can feel it now.
Senior send-off.
2 more seniors come off. Wilcox and Taylor.
Now Wilcox
and
is a sophomore.
Hawkins.
You know, Mark, he's a sophomore, but I'm telling you, I keep thinking he's a senior the way he plays.
And what a crowd that Atlee has brought to this game. We already
And
mentioned the student section, but there's a lot of non-students that are here as well. 3-point attempt, that's off the left side. Rebounded by Caleb Ogburn. He's double teamed and a foul will be called. With 29.3 remaining. It's a 21-point lead by the Raiders.
10 seniors on this Atlee team, and all of their efforts will result in the state championship. Varina, who was expected to have a down year at 20-3. Boy, I wish I could have some down days like that. They only have 4 seniors. They got a lot of underclassmen, and I got a feeling, though, they're in a tough region. They will be back also.
Don't be surprised as the free throw is made by Caleb Ogburn. Don't be surprised if a year from now the Blue Devils are right back here.
I love the student section. They are on their feet for these reserves.
They have been fantastic. 3-point attempt, no good. How many times have we said that tonight about Varina? Battle for the ball down low, 18.8 left, foul called.
He even got a Caleb Awkward chant from the student section after making those 2 free throws and getting his name in the book because he's got a rebound and 2 points.
He
Evans
is an
Salapka with the
automatic
foul.
crowd favorite.
Driver gets the roll. 4 for 4 at the stripe. And another fan favorite ready to come in.
Another senior.
Robert Williams will come in. Caleb Ogren will go out. Driver too strong, rebounded by Joshua Poole, number 23, who's into the game. 12 seconds left. The ovation has begun. Varina will not foul. And it's over. Atlee wins their first ever boys basketball championship. They are your Class 4 champions in Virginia. I think, Coach, I've got to give player of the game to Will Hopkins. I don't know if you agree or not.
He got my vote.
He's got my vote. Justin, is it
Oh, for sure.
For sure. The hat trick for Hopkins.
This senior-led team just took over from the beginning and they never really looked back. You got to give credit to the fans that made the trip out. I understand we're close. It's not that far of a trip, but they have packed this arena on a Friday night. And, I mean, if the end of that game didn't give you goosebumps, I don't know who you are.
And they behave themselves. In this day and age, that's not a given with that many high school kids in one area is not always a given. And I want to say to the Varina people out there, too, your crowd was loud, proud in the ball game, too. It just wasn't your night. We thought it would be a close game, possibility of overtime, but we didn't ask Atlee if that was okay to say because, in their heads was start to finish, this our game, this our title. We're all seniors. We're going out together. And that's what they did with the state title.
And really, guys, it was those 3-pointers, 2 by Wilcox, 2 by Axel early on that created that buffer and really throughout most of this game until the last half of the fourth quarter when Atlee really poured it on. That's where that game stood, was about a 6 to 7 point advantage for Atlee until the end. That just goes to show you hit 3-pointers early like that, build yourself a little bit of an early lead. You can, I don't want to use the word coast, but it certainly can propel you to a victory.
Well, it makes things harder on the team that's down. It's not so much that they're going to coast. It's just they're going to set a deficit. Now you got to do something about it. And meanwhile, we're going to keep pouring it on. We're not going to just let you come back in. We're not going to just stop what we're doing. That's Atlee's trademark all year. Those kids, they compete. Coach Axel said in practice, it's a war. Even though they're friends and whatever, they challenge each other and hold each other accountable. You don't get that at many high schools. Kids basically back off of each other.
We'll turn it over to the public address announcer now for the recognition of the players and the awarding of the championship trophy. Then come back to close it up here from the Siegel Center. Stay with us.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's awards will be presented by Dr. John Wheeler, Principal, Michael K. Athletic Director, Barbara Allen and Bill George, Assistant Principals of Atlee High School, along with Dr. Lisa Kennicott, Superintendent of Hanover County Public Schools. Also, we have Dorita Sears, Principal, Lamont Colson, Athletic Director, Andre Lightfoot and Antoine London, Associate Principal, Lindsay Hess, Robert Griffin, Arlene Robinson, Assistant Principals, and Stacy Lee Admin Intern of Varina High School. Also accompanied by Reverend Tyrone Nelson and Rico County Board of Supervisors, Alicia Atkins and Rico County School Board Member, Varina District, Ingrid Grant, Chief of School Leadership, and Thomas Farrell, Director of High School Education in Rico County Public Schools. First, the runner-up medals to the players from Varina High School. Number 0, Caleb Slaughter. Number 1, Damari Carter. Number 2, Ryan Mitchell. Number 3, Dominic Pleasant. Number 4, Caleb White. Number 5, Cameron Fleming. Number 10, Andre Williams. Number 11, Jaden Harvell. Number 12, Dwayne Atkins. Number 13, Amari Kelsey. Number 14, Cornelius Hunt Jr. Number 20, Roman Dennis. Number 21, Michael Farley. Number 22, Braylon Hood. And number 24, Jaden Walker. And now the presentation of the runner-up trophy to the Blue Devils of Varina High School. Congratulations to the Varina Blue Devils on a tremendous season. And now with a record of 26-1 from Mechanicsville, Virginia, your 2025 VHSL Class 4A Boys Basketball Champion, the Raiders of Atlee High School. Number 1, Reed Taylor. Number 2, Robert Williams. Number 3, Will Hopkins. Number 10, Matthew Martin. Number 11, Matthew Sears. Number 12, Ryan Miller. Number 13, Caleb Osborne. Number 15, Benjamin Boston. Number 21, Keyshawn Anderson. Number 22, Noah Yoder. Number 23, Joshua Poole. Number 32, Connor Wilcox. Number 44, Alex Maxwell. And number 50, Evan Selexka. And now the presentation of the championship trophy to the Raiders of Atlee High School. Congratulations to both teams on their accomplishments this season, and thank you for your support of VHSL program.
So the final score, the Atlee Raiders win their first Class 4 state championship, 66-44 over their Capital District rival, the Varina Blue Devils, here at the Siegel Center in Richmond, Virginia. What a game, Ed. An incredible performance by Atlee here today.
Yeah, I mean, all credit given to Atlee. Nothing Varina did wrong. It was just things they don't normally get done, didn't get done because Atlee was in the way. And Atlee's game, especially the threes early, defense was consistent all night long. It was hard to get in on those 6'4", 6'5" kids that are in there, and they play smart basketball. Hats off to Atlee on their first ever state championship.
So here today, it was in Class 1. First, the girls. George Wythe won it by the score of 50-44. The boys then followed from George Wythe with a 77-38 blowout of the Franklin Broncos. Right before this game, it was Heritage Leesburg defeating Salem 46-37, and here the game just concluded. Atlee over Varina 66-44 to win the Class 4 boys title. That will do it for us here this evening from the Siegel Center. More action coming here tomorrow. It will be the Class 3 boys and girls, James Monroe and Lord Botetourt for the ladies, Hopewell at Spotswood for the boys, and it'll wrap up with the Class 6 Class 6 championship, Osborne Park's Yellow Jackets against the Manchester Lancers, and the boys game, Woodson's Cavaliers and the South Lakes Seahawks. We thank you for watching this game on the NFHS Network. From our broadcast producer, Justin Waddell, my partner, Ed Young. Have a great night, everyone.
Good night, Pete.